Have you ever said something with good intention but been completely misunderstood by the person you're speaking to? Yes, misunderstandings can really cause problems with any type of communication, whether it's business or personal. Now, this happens frequently with email and text messages because we can't see facial expressions or hear tonal changes in the voice. These extra 2 layers of communication help your message land with the correct intention into the ears of the listener. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 questions to consider before you communicate any message. And this will ensure that what you say will always be understood exactly the way that you intended. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Elisa James, voice and communication coach and on-camera performance coach. I help people all over the world share their message with confidence, clarity, and conviction on video, on stage, and in the boardroom. Now, let's dive into the 7 questions that you need to take into account for every communication event, whether it be a sales call, a work presentation, or sharing an important message with a colleague. When we don't take these 7 questions into account, we actually risk miscommunication. For example, the customer on a sales call may not understand the value of your product, so you won't close the sale. Or your friend, after sharing your message, might say, "I really don't understand what you mean." Miscommunication can leave people feeling wounded and upset. So let's look at how we can prevent that. Let's say you need to send a message to all members of your staff, perhaps about an important policy change coming up in your organization. Let's filter that idea through the 7 questions. Question number 1. What is the intention? Before we begin any communication, we need to be clear about what the intention is behind the message we're attempting to convey. If you have a message in the form of a keynote speech or a quarterly update presentation, share the presentation with a friend first and ask them what they thought was the number 1 takeaway from your presentation. Ask them, "What do you think the overall intention of my message is?" This will help you see if you're heading in the right direction. Question number 2. Who are the intended recipients? The best way to spread the message correctly is to write down the individuals who need to receive the message so no one is left in the dark by accident. Assuming it will reach the right people is the wrong approach. You need to make sure by making a list and being specific about the exact amount of people that this message needs to get out to. The next question, number 3, is who is the best person for the job? Next, I want you to ask yourself, who is the best person to convey this message? The sender needs to be influential to the receiver, someone who can really change the actions of others. So ask yourself, is there a person within your organization that can convey this message with clarity and confidence? We need to take into account how the message might get watered down from person to person. Do you remember the game Chinese Whispers when we were kids? As a kid, during parties, we would all stand in a circle and the first person would be given a specific message and they would pass that message down through the line from person to person. By the time it got to the last person, that person had to say the phrase out loud and compare it to the original phrase that was spoken. And we would all fall about laughing when the last phrase sounded absolutely nothing like the original message. In that context, it was funny. But in organizational context, this could be a disaster. So think about who would be the best person suited to convey this message clearly and succinctly. Question number 4, interpretation of the message. Next, think about all the ways that this message could possibly be interpreted. Keep in mind that every individual operates from his own preconceived ideas and unique way of seeing the world. We need to take into account these mental filters before we deliver the message. Ask yourself, is there any way I can articulate this message clearly so it can't be misinterpreted? Do I need to perhaps add a few extra phrases to make sure it lands with the right tone? Or if someone has a negative and limited mindset, could they interpret this in a really bad way? I want you to write down all the possible ways that this message could be misinterpreted before you finish the final draft of the intended communication. Question number 5. Is it a one-way or a two-way message? The next thing we need to think about is, do you want feedback from your message? Is this a one-way directive where no one has a choice but to comply with the new rule or the system put in place? If it's a two-way channel and the sender of the message is open to feedback, then think about the possible feedback you could receive and decide on how best to answer those concerns and whether you're able to be flexible in the situation. If it's a one-way message of communication, then you need to be very careful to frame it in the best possible way so it doesn't destroy morale or cause dissonance in the company ranks. Question number 6. What is the best channel? Next, we need to think about the best communication channel. In other words, what's the vehicle of communication? Is it face-to-face in a meeting? A video conference? Maybe a team meeting in a boardroom? Or is it simply a company email or a notice placed on the message board? Taking into account the intention of the message and how important it is for the health of the organization or the relationship, choosing the right channel will be a very important factor. For example, no one likes to receive a breakup message by text or email, and perhaps getting fired too is best done face-to-face. Think carefully about which channel of communication is going to help the message land clearly and succinctly with no room for miscommunication. And lastly, question 7, timing. Sometimes we need to take into account timing as well. For example, if you come home from a hard day at work and maybe you're tired, you're cranky, you're hungry, this is not the best time to discuss a problem in your relationship. Timing is important. Likewise, calling an important staff meeting to talk through difficult and complex issues right after lunch on a beautiful sunny day may be the wrong time for that sort of meeting. People might feel too full or sleepy after that nice big meal and a nice relaxing sit in the sun. The same applies to conversations with family members. Pick your time. Make an appointment to discuss any serious issues that need space, time, and privacy to sort out. Timing is important. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out the other videos on my channel, and I'll see you next time.